people, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Stop Lounge. This is episode number 10. We're in double digits territory, guys. And as always, we are your hosts, Malcolm and me, Jan, who is shamelessly wearing the Manchester United kit after such an awful season. How are you, bro?
The badge is always behind me, so I'm more shameless. But regardless, I'm alright, bro. Thank you very much. How are you doing? You good?
Yeah, man, good. Quite tired today. Had a very jam-packed day. But still made it in time for.
I might yawn here or there. As well.
I mean, let's hope we don't yawn, because it's shameless settings, guys. I don't care wearing the skit because we have an episode to deliver to you guys, because it's vital for us that we deliver the best content, the best F1 content for you guys if you're listening to Spotify and YouTube. And before we begin,
much love.
Make sure to hit us with a like, follow, and share on our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube accounts, guys. The numbers are slowly getting there. We really appreciate
much love,
support.
Man. Much love, thank you.
Of course, for Spotify listeners, make sure to hit us with a follow, and obviously let us know your thoughts with the polls that we release every single episode, guys. We really appreciate getting your thoughts on each episode.
Always.
And with that, let's begin today's episode, guys. Episode 10, which is the start of the European section of the F1 season calendar.
Hallelujah.
For us, it's relief because
hallelujah.
The times are much better than the first couple of races. Before we used to it used to be like early wake up calls, but
6 a.m. 7 a.m. for Australia,
5 a.m.
10 p.m. for Miami or so. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I have to go to work tomorrow. It's not worth it.
Yeah, 2 p.m. is much better for us, guys.
Much.
I mean, it really
3 p.m. 3 p.m.
3 p.m. So excuse me about that, because before
sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, but it's in the afternoon.
Like a long time ago, like a couple of years ago, it used to be like 2 p.m. But now, like, the races have switched, the times have been switched completely. But regardless, and yeah, so the European section is underway, guys, and our first stop was at the Imola Grand Prix. At the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, a long ass title, by the way, for the race, bro.
I'm not gonna read it.
No,
I'm not gonna read it. Fuck that.
Listen, man. I mean, we already just butchered Racing Bulls and Sauber's name. I mean, we're not even gonna try now butchering the name.
Honestly, I still call it San Marino.
Nah, I think Imola is...
I still call it San Marino. I know it as San Marino. Imola, okay, Emilia Romagna, never... Well, I still call it San Marino till this day.
Yes. And your thoughts on the track, bro? It's a quick track.
Love it. Love it. It's a classic track. It's a classic. It's a classic track. How F1 circuits should be.
Do you think it's better than Monza, since it falls under that category, and lots of Tifosi fans in the stands as well?
No.
So... No.
No,
okay.
I don't think so. I don't think it's better than Monza. Monza is known as the Temple of Speed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's known as the Temple of Speed. It's more, let's say, legendary. It is Imola is legendary. It's a classic track. It's a classic layout. Love it, absolutely. But would I replace it with Monza? No. Still love Monza.
I would put both races on the calendar. No,
absolutely,
doubt about it.
No doubt.
But Imola is another legendary track, and
better than the street circuit for sure, but it has more technical.
No, absolutely. I mean,
and this year in Imola, they arranged it because usually there were runoff areas.
Yeah.
Especially in the Variante Alta section, there was a runoff area. Now they made it with gravel trap.
And do you think it's for the better or for the worse?
I think it's for the better. Yeah. I think it's for the better because it makes the drivers more aware. The least of mistakes could cost the driver massively. I mean, we've seen it this weekend with some of the drivers.
Lots of errors, actually, man. Both in practice and qualifying, even the races as well. So
there's very little margin for error now. Very little.
Yes.
If it wasn't there already, it's even more so now.
I mean, they had to be. I mean, we all know Formula 1 is a sport that you have to be super cautious on every nook and cranny, on every turn.
Always.
And Imola is no exception. I think it's one of the most. I mean, yeah, that's one of the most circuits that you need to be really get your A game on, man.
I think it's Jeddah. I think Jeddah more. Funnily enough,
Miami gives it a good shout. Gives it a good run of its money as well.
But Miami, there's some runoff area. There is some run of area. There isn't any gravel trap.
That's just a weird track in general, though.
Not because Jeddah has, but Jeddah is so like fast and tight corner sections that the least of errors you could crash straight into a tire barrier.
Yeah,
tire
exactly. No, bro. Obviously, Imola last year was cancelled because of extreme weather.
Yeah.
So it was great to see it back in the F1 can. It was missed last year. Obviously, what happened last year was unfortunate. I mean, when you have, in Italy and in San Marino, when bad weather hits the fan, it turns up massively.
I mean just like what happened in Brazil.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like what happened in Brazil.
Now, guys, obviously, before we get into this weekend, we do have a couple of news to talk about. What happened off the track. The first, more driver-related news. Continuing on what happened in the previous race. The next one, and this concerns Williams and Alex Albon. There were some fears that Albon could maybe a potential exit for Williams, but that's not the case anymore because Alex Albon has now signed a new contract with Williams on a multi-year deal. So that is relief for Williams. I mean, Alex Albon last year literally carried the team on from his shoulders to his back for the
through his whole body,
using his entire body basically, man. So this is fantastic news for Williams. Obviously, Williams have been off the pace massively this season, but they had to keep Alex. They had to keep Alex in the building. I mean, his teammate isn't doing wonders at the moment.
He ain't setting the world alight.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is big news for Williams. Your thoughts, bro?
To be fair, I mean, I'm happy for Alex Albon because it shows that Williams do have a lot of faith in Alex Albon and they definitely want to build a team around him. They want to build a car around him. But at the same time, if I'm Alex Albon, I mean, shouldn't he be looking at some of the top seats from the top teams?
But he has to see what's available in the market at the moment because those seats are filling up very, very quickly. Yeah.
I mean, Ferrari is a no-go. Red Bull is a no-go.
No.
Is Aston Martin a shout, maybe?
I mean, Stroll has to leave. I mean,
but I don't see Stroll.
Contract, so.
Yeah, but I don't see Stroll leaving because of his father. Mercedes, yes, there's an open seat, but I think that's too big for Alex Albon to take. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, is it?
I'm in the fence on that, to be honest,
because
I mean, Mercedes is a big name, but I mean,
at the moment they're not.
They're not. I mean, at the moment they're completely off the races at the moment. But
I think if they could rebuild themselves, repackage themselves with Russell and Alex Albon, I think it could work out. You know, it could.
Yeah, but I think the timing. Do you find the timing to be a little bit strange with the announcement? Because Williams
could be.
They're all having a great season at the moment. Williams are having a really, really tough season. I mean, for James Vowles, I think it's second season syndrome for him at the helm. And right now, that car just
ain't setting the world alight.
Just isn't performing at all, man. Completely off it.
Absolutely.
I think they haven't scored any points this season.
No,
yeah?
none.
They haven't scored any points yet.
Not a single point. Not a single point this season yet.
Listen, it might benefit in the long run, and even especially how this weekend turned out for Albon and Williams. Not the best.
Not the best of responses.
Not the best day not the best.
Not the best response.
Day to announce the news, basically.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I mean, they better have given him a very good project to work on.
Yeah.
They better gave him a better good project because if I'm Alex Albon after that weekend. Boy.
He seems though. I mean, he seems
happy. He seems happy. He seems relaxed. And I think for Albon, after his experience that he had with Red Bull, I think for him to be in an environment of Williams, build a team around him, not that much of high expectations. I think it's better for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. Maybe.
But
eventually, you're in Formula One to win, no?
Sorry.
You're eventually in Formula One to win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Albon still hasn't won a race in his career so far. He's been in the sport for quite a long time now, hasn't he?
Since 2016, I believe.
When Gasly lost his seat.
2018, because exactly. Gasly went to Red Bull and Albon went to Toro Rosso. 2018.
and then both switch sides as soon as in the halfway stage, basically.
Yeah, and Albon,
So-
and then Albon was replaced with Sergio Perez.
Exactly, spot on with that. It might be so to wrap things up. Obviously, with Alex Albon to Williams, just signed a new contract with Williams. Listen, right now, maybe the timing isn't the best, but I think in the long run, I think it was crucial to keep Albon in that Williams seat. I mean,
I agree.
And like you said before, they better gave a long-term project for
a proper
Albon,
long-term project with a clear plan.
And I hope, listen, I want James Vowles to succeed with Williams.
Absolutely,
because,
we want him to. James Vowles, he's a very good person. He's very intelligent.
Yeah, because Williams, they were one of the surprises of last season, if I'm being honest. So, and this season, unfortunately, with how things are going at the moment, it has been nowhere near that at all, unfortunately. So,
absolutely.
Might work in the long run at the moment, but I think for Williams fans, I think they will be delighted that Albon is staying on for. Hopefully for them, and more years to come. But they have.
Is it 2, 3 years? Multi-year?
It's multi-year. It's a multi-year.
Multi-year. It could be 2 or more years. It's 2 or more years.
So yeah, bro. Next season's driver slots, they're filling up like pancakes at the moment. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously this is the last time we're gonna hear more about driver transfers for next year.
We still need to know about their next Mercedes seat.
And
who's going to sit beside Russell? And Red Bull.
And don't rule out Red Bull. I mean, McLaren and Ferrari are both settled. I think the same with Williams. No, I think the Sargent hasn't fully.
No, Sargent not yet.
But yeah, there's the 2025 calendar is starting to fill up quite nicely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that is related to
pretty much it on Albon.
Actually, some more news about Adrian Newey. Now, obviously, Adrian Newey has just said that. Obviously, the last episode, guys, we mentioned that Adrian Newey is leaving Red Bull. Those rumors have come out. They're true. The rumors are true now. And obviously now, Newey said that he is not taking a back seat. He wants to be in a Formula One team next season. Now, obviously, everyone is predicting that he will join Ferrari. It's pretty much the worst kept secret at this point. But there are also rumors that McLaren could be in the mix. Now, listen, I don't. That would be really, really spicy. Yeah,
listen. In reality, with how things are at the moment, we do need him more than you lot. In reality.
Yeah, I think both teams need him to be honest.
Listen, everyone needs Adrian Newey. Everyone needs Adrian Newey in their team. Let's make that thing clear. But we need him more than you. You have a fast car. Your designers, they did a brilliant job. Especially the last 2 races.
We're on the up at the moment. We're on the up at the moment.
Absolutely. I think you're on par with Ferrari. I believe you're on par.
I think we have the upper edge right now. I mean, especially with how this weekend went overall.
These past two weekends in Miami and Imola, you are on par with Ferrari. You're on par with us easily.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I will mention how we performed. We'll talk about the race.
Yeah.
But listen, it's at this point. I'm not getting too excited at the moment. I still believe that he will join Ferrari. I think.
And we need him, bro.
Literally, Hamilton he dropped a massive hint in the last press conference. Let's be real here. So
he dropped a bit of a bombshell, didn't he?
And Newey was with us and way back in the day. So I would see him. I can't imagine him at Ferrari at this point. So I'm not gonna get too excited right now. Listen, if he ends up at McLaren, it would be brilliant news. But
with the trajectory that you got, you could easily go for the title. If Newey joins.
I still think he will join Ferrari. That's where everything is heading at the moment. But you never know. You never know. I hope he joins Ferrari, to be honest. Miracles do happen, but I think Ferrari would be a better option for Adrian. But I think that's it related to off-track news.
Much.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Now we're gonna obviously, guys, we're gonna talk about the Imola Grand Prix now. Now, guys, obviously before we get into qualifying, practice qualifying the race, obviously we have to start with what happened. We have to start with what happened pre weekend, basically, because obviously, guys. What happened was this weekend marked the 30th anniversary of one of the darkest, if not the darkest weekend in the history of the sport, basically. For those who don't know, Ayrton Senna tragically lost his life at Imola itself. Basically, he crashed into a chicane, just went straight to it, and he basically died on impact. And that same weekend, it was just a terrible weekend of the sport in general. Friday of that weekend, Rubens Barrichello had a really nasty accident, a near fatal accident, you would say, as well. And on the following day, Roland Ratzenberger lost his life as well. Pretty much on impact. And obviously, the day after, Senna's crashed. Senna's what happened basically with Ayrton Senna, and and the rest is pretty much the rest is history, you would say, as well. For me, I don't know about you, bro. This was the dark. It was pretty much. I mean, me and you, we weren't even born yet. We weren't even born in 1994. 94. But we did watch highlights. We did watch several documentaries. We did watch, obviously, many video clips of Ayrton Senna and his rivalry with several other drivers. For me, it still remains the most powerful, the biggest loss in the history of F1, in my opinion. And because for me, I don't know. I don't know if you agree with me on this, bro. I think Ayrton Senna, in my eyes, is the greatest driver I've ever seen in Formula One. You may think with Schumacher because he won 7 world titles, and the same with Lewis Hamilton. Juan Manuel Fangio could be in the mix as well, but I think what Ayrton Senna did, the impact he made. That's the word. That's the word. Impact. That's the word, bro. The talent he had in the rain, he was a god in the rain, man. For me, no other driver. That rain masterclass he did in Donington Park in '93. Yeah, for me, he is the greatest driver to ever grace the sport. And there won't be any other driver for me that will have the same impact as Ayrton Senna. And Sebastian Vettel led the tributes. He had and it was basically. Chapeau to Vettel, man. Chapeau to Vettel. What a class act he is, by the way. Chapeau to Vettel, man. I mean, he's dearly missed in Formula One, Vettel, isn't he? Yeah, absolutely. He's dearly missed. Obviously, there are rumors that he might make a return next year, but that Mercedes seat is open. We'll get back to we'll get back to the tributes, obviously, because we don't go all the point on that regard. But Vettel led the tributes. He also did a lap around Imola. Basically, he did a lap around Imola, driving Ayrton Senna's car and the helmet as well. And it was a beautiful tribute, man. I mean, that for me is how you should grace. That is how you honor a legend like Ayrton Senna, an eternal legend, you would say, as well. What do you think, bro? Listen, you said a very important word regarding that you hold Ayrton Senna as one of the greatest Formula One driver, and you said a very important word: impact. And in terms of impact, I think that's very hard to disagree, bro, because everyone, in regards to impact, Ayrton Senna, bigger than Schumacher, bigger than Hamilton, bigger than Verstappen, bigger than everyone. Because apart from him being an exceptional driver, on top of that, he was an exceptional human being. Wasn't he? One of a kind. He was an exceptional. He even saved one of the drivers. I forgot his name. Yeah, he's not in my mind at the moment, but he did save one of the drivers who was pressing on the gas, and the revs were going up, and it was near about to explode, and he saved him as the driver was unconscious, and Ayrton Senna stopped his car in the middle of the track and saved him. Yeah. So on top of that, he was more on top of that, he was an exceptional human being. Rest in peace to Ayrton Senna. Rest in peace to Roland Ratzenberger. And he's dearly missed every day. Listen, Anna is he's still being remembered to this day. In 30 years. I mean, his home country, they view him as a god, basically, because they view him as a god. I mean, listen, they love him to pieces, basically. I mean, Ayrton Senna has one of the best racing quotes I have ever heard.
if you don't go for a gap that exists, you no longer can consider yourself as a racing car driver.
Yeah.
That is one of the best quotes. That is one of the best quotes in terms of racing I've ever heard, bro. Like, it's so simple. It's so simple. But to even think about
the impact, I mean, and who said especially as well.
Yeah. And at the time, we never knew what would happen afterwards. So to even say that at the time, and I believe he said it at the time of his rivalry with Alan Prost, no?
Yeah, and his rivalry with Prost, his masterclasses. He had so many. Listen, 44
that Donington Park in '93, bro, from 6th to 1st in one lap is crazy.
That season, Williams and Alan Prost, they dominated the entire season because in that period, Williams were at the top of their game, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally just came back. They literally just right off the back of an entirely dominant 1992 season with Nigel Mansell, and then 1993 they repeated the same feat with Alan Prost, basically taking home his fourth world title. Senna literally just carried that entire McLaren team. I mean, he had so many masterclass performances with Brazil, the Donington Park Grand Prix as well,
Monaco in '91,
Australia.
Was it Monaco in '91?
Yeah, exactly. He's a
Monaco
genius,
91
man.
in the rain, I believe.
Yeah, exactly, in the rain.
Yeah,
he was
Monaco 91.
But
for me, that Donington Park in '93.
That was
that from 6th to 1st in one lap, crazy.
His
in
talent,
the rain as well.
The talent when it comes to the rain, for example, when it comes to the rain, he is.
It was like sunshine for him. It was like sunshine for him.
He made it look so easy in the rain.
He made man. He was
so easy, and making a fool. Everyone looked like a fool basically compared to.
What if after the unfortunate passing of Roland Ratzenberger is his name, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
Many of the drivers wanted to cancel the race. They wanted to cancel the race.
Should have been cancelled, man.
And it should have been cancelled because look at what happened.
The race was stopped. I mean, after Senna's crash, I mean, I think the race just.
No, the race continued. The race continued.
No, because I believe the race. I believe that it was shorter distance, and then they stopped, and then the podium said the celebrations were.
I think the race continued. No, yeah, basically Schumacher won that race, didn't he?
Schumacher won, and Hakkinen was in the podium as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I remember Schumacher because he didn't celebrate at all.
I mean, how could you, man?
How could you,
man? You can't, man. I mean, and obviously after what happened that weekend, safety measures were completely were introduced. The sport changed completely. I mean,
which were much needed, and we thank the FIA for that. It was late because we had to lose one of the greats in order for the safety rules to change.
I mean,
but. How many lives were saved afterwards, apart from the unfortunate passing of Jules Bianchi back in 2015?
Yeah.
But that was very unfortunate. Jules Bianchi was very unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super. But so many tragedies were avoided.
The Halo
thanks
system,
to the changes in safety.
The Halo
system, one of them. We've seen what could have happened to Guan Yu Zhou last season in Silverstone.
Yeah, exactly.
We could have seen what could have happened with Marcus Ericsson in 2018 in Monza. Charles Leclerc in Belgium in 2018 as well.
Listen,
so many. Lewis Hamilton and Verstappen colliding in Monza in 2021. So many fatalities were avoided thanks to the Halo.
Silverstone, I believe, not Monza. Silverstone, I believe.
Which one?
No, that was in 2020. In 2021, Hamilton and Verstappen collided.
That was in Monza.
But they also collided in another race, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, Silverstone. Yes, Silverstone. Hamilton collided. Verstappen collided with Hamilton into cops.
That was very nasty. The impact that Verstappen had was nasty.
That was in cops, I believe. No, that was in cops corner.
Exactly.
Cops corner.
But listen, Formula One in itself is a very dangerous sport. But pre-2000s, it was extremely dangerous. I mean, I remember back in the because my dad started watching Formula One in the 70s. During that time period, like the cars on the track, they couldn't even. Not even the race cars on the track. They used to line up with just three, not how it is today, with just two cars on each row. Basically, it was like
it was a three.
And literally, the race just got
So
got
similar
under,
to how MotoGP lineup.
but a bit more freedom and a bit more loose, basically. I mean,
All right,
if you know what
sort
I
of
mean, basically.
sort of a rolling start, was it?
Yeah, well, of a rolling start, because
Pardon me.
basically, not even like the races used to get on some. There were parts where there were some occasions where the race used to get underway when the drivers aren't even lined up properly on the grid. That's how dangerous that sport is. I mean, it was listen. Obviously, the sport has changed drastically from that time period to now, but. I'm glad, obviously, that they're getting more that the safety measures. Obviously, it had to happen after an iconic driver getting tragically
Had to pass
killed
away.
the way that Ayrton Senna had. But listen, just to wrap up on Ayrton Senna, iconic, eternal legend. He
One
will
of a kind.
always, one of a kind, genius. Just
And on top of that, an exceptional human being that will never be forgotten.
Yes,
Sempre
absolutely.
Senna.
Sempre Senna, yeah, absolutely.
Always, rest in
and
peace.
the same also goes to Ron Ratzenberger as well.
Of course, rest in
because,
peace to Ron
I
Ratzenberger.
mean, both of them.
It's thanks to them.
tragically
It's thanks
missed.
to them. We should thank them for sacrificing their lives to entertain us fans, and they sacrifice themselves for the safety of the sport.
And shout out to Vettel as well for
massive shout
such
out
a
to Vettel.
beautiful,
Chapeau
for
to
such a
him.
what a wonderful human being he is.
Chapeau to Vettel,
by
man.
the way, because that for me is the perfect way of honoring a legend, that an immortal legend, basically. I mean that's the word for it. But yeah, massively missed Senna. It's a shame for me and you, bro, that we didn't manage to see him. That we didn't manage to see him live because we weren't born during that time period.
What a
But
pity, man. What a
luckily,
pity.
I do have Senna's signature right over here because my dad managed to get his signature back in the day. Yeah.
Wow,
from
that's
the
nice,
May.
bro. That is so nice.
Yeah.
That is
it's
lit,
obviously.
man.
And
Yeah, it was
listen,
unfortunate we didn't get to see him. We were born in. I was born in '97. Senna
Yeah.
passed away in '94. So
I'm a year later.
it was
from
unfortunate.
98.
But thank God for the internet. Thank God for
Yeah,
the internet.
exactly.
We got to see highlights of his driving
Yeah,
and all his
listen.
accolades and achievements,
Yeah,
all of that.
absolutely.
So thank
But-
God for the internet. At
Yeah,
least.
but listen, the sport was lucky to have him. We were super grateful. and
The
lucky to have
world
him.
was lucky to have
Yeah.
him, bro. The world
Rest
was
in
lucky.
peace, Ayrton.
Not
Rest
just
in
Formula
peace,
One.
Sempre.
The world was lucky.
Greatest of all time. All right, great way to honor the legend as Senna, bro, and even Ratzenberger as well. So,
Rest
all
in
right,
peace to
guys,
both of them.
let's get into this weekend's Grand Prix. Bro, unfortunately, we don't have a lot to talk about because
Nope.
it was kind of a snooze. You know what I mean?
Oh dear God. Apart from the last bit.
Apart from the last few minutes, because that's where the
Last
race
few
started.
laps.
But anyways,
But
obviously we practice and then we get to qualifying the races, same format, guys. Obviously perfect time, guys, to tell you that if this is your first time to the channel, make sure to hit us with a like, comment, and share on our socials.
Always,
Facebook,
one love.
Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. Links are in the bio and in the description. So
respect, always.
So we'll start with practice, bro. Obviously we're not even gonna mention who came first and second because it's meaningless. But what happened?
I mean, this weekend, bro. I'm gonna mention it. I'm gonna mention who came first in practice because it was a Ferrari, and it's always when Ferrari finish tops practice, the Ferrari fans go AWOL, thinking that we're gonna win the race, that we're gonna do well.
Yeah.
And guess what happens?
And
we get shit-faced.
And speaking of Ferrari, Ferrari finally, this was the weekend where Ferrari finally got their anticipated upgrades. They were hyping these upgrades up. That a lot of people are going to say that they were going to be challenging Red Bull. But no, not the case, bro. Not the case. I mean, Ferrari.
I mean, in practice we did.
It's the same old bullshit yet again, bro. I mean, it's the same old bullshit.
No, we were hyping up the upgrades
Yeah.
like it's the best thing since sliced bread. Oh, we're gonna challenge Red Bull. Oh, we topped FP1 and FP2. But guess what happened in the qualifying and the race?
Same old, as per usual. Same old. But anyhow.
That's why I don't That's why I don't care about practice sessions, bro.
No.
Practice sessions are
But
meaningless.
What really happened in practice? A lot of drivers went off.
Yeah.
Alonso went off. Perez went off. Alex Albon went off. I mean, we just mentioned it a couple of minutes ago, fresh from signing a new contract with Williams. Do you think that chicane made a bit of those changes made a bit of a difference?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Listen, it adds up more to a challenge. Imola was already challenging enough. So the fact that they did those changes, added the gravel traps, made it even more challenging. The slightest of errors from the drivers, and you're not going to get rewarded whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely. But we had the qualifying, shall we?
Either way, we can start with quali. We can start with quali.
Yes. So
I already mentioned practice that FP1, FP2, Leclerc got it. So,
and even we were right at the top as well. I mean, there was like practice 2 or practice 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Practice 3. You came like 1 and 2 with Piastri and Norris.
But anyhow, I wasn't too gassed with practice because we all know that practice was just to get the feel of the car.
Yeah.
Not to get the best step times. That the talking will have to do with qualifying basically. But
absolutely.
Anyhow, qualifying with regards to the standings, no surprises. However, we did see a couple of surprises in the first round of qualifying because as we mentioned before, Red Bull actually were quite off the pace in both practice and also in qualifying because the two McLarens got the better of Verstappen with Piastri second at 1:15.940 second. Norris then got a quicker lap time, just a couple of seconds ahead of his teammate and even Verstappen. But the biggest surprise, bro, was Nico Hülkenberg in that class.
Yeah, I mean, when he topped the timesheets in Q1 with that 1:15, boy, that caught me off guard.
Yeah,
that caught me off guard. I even sent you a message.
Yeah, and I had to see it. I had to watch qualifying afterwards because I was at work during that time. So
my God, man, with a 1:15, was it 1:15.0? Well, I believe was it 1:15.
Yeah, it was
that
right,
came
right
out of nowhere.
Basically.
Nico Hülkenberg, that was crazy. That was crazy from Nico.
It's a shame that it happened in Q1,
yeah, in
not
Q1.
in Q3. I mean, he's Mr. Saturday. He's nicknamed as Mr. Saturday, and he was literally at Mr. Saturday peak, basically.
Yeah.
And also one of the biggest surprises of that qualifying round as well was Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki
Tsunoda was on fire all weekend long. Yuki.
Yeah.
How much has Yuki grown in the past 2 seasons, man?
He's continuing to grow.
How much has he grown? He keeps getting better and better and better.
So happy for him. I'm really, really happy for him, man.
Yeah, shout to him. And shout out as well to RB for having the patience with him as well.
Yeah, correct. Absolutely. Now, those who got knocked out of Q1, guys, Logan Sargent dead last. Logan Sargent qualified 17th, but he exceeded track limits and his lap time was deleted. Basically, he went across the gravel trap at that Villeneuve chicane, and basically he because he exceeded track limits, he didn't set up a lap time, so starting dead last. Another poor session for Logan. He's just playing with fire at this stage, Logan. Because if he really wants to get an F1 seat next season, he's just not helping himself at this point.
If he wants to get that same contract Albon got, he's gonna have to do a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely.
First season he got away with it, getting that point. I believe. Where did he get the point? Which race did he get a point? Logan Sargent, I forgot.
Not in my mind at the moment. I think Qatar, I believe.
Was it Qatar? Not quite. Where was? Anyways, well, I know he got a point.
Yeah.
I know he got a point somewhere. That point he got saved him. This season he has to do a lot more. I mean, we're not expecting him to fight for wins or fight in the top 10 constantly.
Absolutely
but at least challenge between those 12 to 15 place more.
Yeah.
Show a bit of fight. Of course, he needs to have the car.
The car unfortunately isn't helping him at all.
Yeah, he needs to have the car.
Yeah.
But
not
he needs to do a bit more. I think he'll survive the season. I believe, Logan Sargent. They won't bin him half the season.
You're a bit too early on that, bro.
I don't think they'll bin him half the season.
I don't know. I think you're calling it out a bit too early at this point. But anyhow. in 19th, and for me, one of the biggest shocks of the weekend is Fernando Alonso. Now, Alonso, straight from the first practice, he was having a horrible, he had a horrible time, and he was going off in the chicanes at Tamburello, and the same, and at Tamburello was the part where Alonso was struggling massively.
The most.
The same, because on qualifying, the same thing happened in qualifying as well. His car looked way off it this weekend, man.
Yeah.
He obviously in FP3 he crashed at the Rivata section, and he basically in qualifying he had to quit. He had to abort his final lap because he had an unknown issue, and that led him not only finishing 19th, but he had to start the race from the pits. So
yeah.
Poor qualifying session for Alonso, but just in general, I mean, we're gonna get into the race very in just a moment. But Alonso had a horrible weekend, man, and that's just not like him at the moment. Obviously, look, every driver has his off day, has his off weekends, but Alonso, he just didn't look at it this weekend, man. I mean, lots of uncharacteristic errors, which you don't expect for a driver like him. What do you think?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. It was a torrid weekend for Alonso. Making the same mistakes, just like you said, in the same corner. Yeah. And the car as well wasn't helping him a lot. Did the changes really affect him that much? The changes to the track?
Might be.
Because a driver like Alonso shouldn't even be an issue for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the experience
shouldn't be an issue for him.
The experience this guy has.
Something was off with Alonso this weekend, man.
I think the car just wasn't up to speeds. I think.
Yeah, but Stroll went actually a bit decent, didn't he?
Yeah, one of the very rare instances where he got the better of Alonso, which normally it should be the other way around, but
which is very rare.
Yeah, absolutely
very rare.
Magnussen in 8th, Kevin Magnussen 18th. Now for Kevin Magnussen, his lap time was affected a lot, mostly affected by
because of Piastri,
because of Oscar Piastri, and that led to a 3-place grid penalty for Oscar Piastri for according to the stewards for impeding Magnussen. And for me, it's bullshit, man. I mean, you could do nothing there.
Look.
I may be biased, but
like I said before, they saw Hülkenberg's time in Q1, and they projected the same time or similar Magnussen was gonna do like Hülkenberg.
All right.
And they saw it as Piastri impeded Magnussen. So that's why they gave Piastri a 3-place grid penalty. But just like you said, it was a bit harsh to give him a 3-place grid penalty because it was in turn 1, turn 2. Piastri just turned the corner. Magnussen was coming at full speed. It was a bit harsh though. But I think that's how the stewards saw it. That's how the stewards saw it.
Magnussen was far from happy. I mean,
listen, he should. As he should.
I think he should. Listen, if that didn't happen, I think
because he might have saw
enough. He could have had enough.
Yeah, he might. Listen, he might have saw Hülkenberg's time and said, if it wasn't for Piastri, I could have matched him.
Yeah, and I think if that didn't happen, he could have made it to Q2. I think.
I think so. Yeah.
I think he could have made Q3. I don't think so, but
I don't think he would have made it to Q3. But Q2, I think he would have made it to Q2.
That for me was a harsh penalty because I think it was such an uncomfortable corner to impede. I think it shouldn't have happened. I think they shouldn't have given him that penalty. It was way too harsh for Piastri. Anyhow,
and actually Hülkenberg actually got a 1:15.8, not a 1:15, not 1:15.0.
Yeah, exactly. And the two Saubers in 17th and 16th. No surprise, bro. Expected that Sauber. That Sauber's just a horrible car, isn't it, man?
25 can't come soon enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna say this in every episode, bro. 2025 can't come soon enough.
We might just keep on repeating this for every single episode, man, because
I might need to do a voice recording on my phone and just that's what I might need to do.
Yeah, so that's Q1. Apart from Alonso, not much going on basically.
Not much surprises. Maybe Magnussen could have done better, unfortunately, because of the Piastri situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Alonso definitely the shocker. It was so off it this weekend, man.
Absolutely. So In Q2 again, except for one driver, pretty standard. The two Alpines, 13th and 15th, Lance Stroll and Pierre Gasly. Listen, Alpine slowly, they're
12 and 15.
they're going
Ocon
about
came
their
12th.
business, man.
Ocon came 12th. Not 13th.
Yeah, 12th. Sorry about that.
12th.
Sorry about that. No.
Gasly 15th, Ocon 12th.
Confused him with Lance Stroll, basically. But
Yeah.
yeah, listen, Alpine, they're getting into Q2. They're no longer in that. I mean, at least for now. Hope I don't curse them or anything. But anyhow, listen, they're getting out of Q1 and they're at least getting into those Q2. They're at least getting into those Q. They're at least.
It's a
getting
start
into
for them.
Q2. So, sorry, bro.
It's a start for them. It's a start for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously.
Next step is to get into the points.
Which for me they're still a bit far off at this point. I mean,
Not too far though, but they're there. They're getting there.
It's still off the pace.
They are
car,
getting
though.
there.
I mean, let's be real.
It is still though. It is still.
It looks a bit off at the moment, but anyhow.
Yeah.
Albon in 14th. Again, listen, getting to Q2 for the Williams car is all right, I guess, but that for me, I think he should have made more effort with Alex Albon. I think. What do you think? He should have made at least a bit more effort in getting into Q3 to honor at least his announcement of signing a new contract.
I believe he did the best he could with what he got, with what he has. I think that's more the case.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he got the best he could with what he has.
Now, bro,
again, Williams better give him a good ass project.
Yeah, absolutely.
They better give him a good ass project. I'm just saying.
Now, bro, you mentioned that Lance Stroll actually had a decent session, but listen, 13th isn't that great. Let's be real here.
No. I said that Lance Stroll was better, that had a better session than Alonso. I didn't say he had a good session. All I said he has a better session than Alonso. That's what I said.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, Aston Martin.
Because by Aston Martin standards, that wasn't a good session at all.
No, that was terrible for them. I mean, 13th and 19th, 20th, because Alonso started the race in the pits. Poor, really poor. I mean, considering how their season went last year and how their season is going at the moment, very poor session for him. And even worse than Lance Stroll is Sergio Perez in 11th, man.
Didn't expect that. Did not expect that.
Yeah, the same here as well. I mean, I think with Checo, he had his vibes were a bit similar to Alonso, man. He was making quite a lot of mistakes.
It was the old guards.
The old guards, yeah, which you don't expect.
Not at all. Apart from Hamilton, it was the old guards doing the mistakes.
Even Hamilton was making mistakes as well.
He made some mistakes. I don't know.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he went better than the three. He went better than the three of them, definitely. Absolutely. But it was the old guards making the errors, which is odd.
Very odd indeed. So yeah, no surprises, I think, with the exception of Sergio Perez, of course, and even Lance Stroll, to be fair, as well, because 13th, the Aston Martin.
Yeah, I mean, it is an Aston Martin, but at the same time, it's Lance Stroll.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a surprise, but not really.
I think he had his 150th race in Formula 1 this weekend.
Wow.
I think.
Wow.
Surprised. He's made it this far.
Thanks to his daddy.
Yeah, because I think he should. Because in my eyes, he should have been gone long.
He should have been dipped, bro. He should have been binned, bro. He should have been long gone. He should have been sayonara, arrivederci. He should have been gone.
Where it could be, man. Anyways. So, and that
shout out
leads
Lawrence
us to qualifying, to the third round of qualifying. Hulkenberg 10th, again, the best he could have managed at Haas, but that's another top 10
Q3 appearance.
Start, a Q3 appearance for Nico Hulkenberg. And listen, he's leaving the team at the end of the season. Haas, they might regret it, man. They might actually regret Hulkenberg leaving the team. Listen, maybe too early, but
I don't know. Again, I think Hulkenberg. Yeah, it is consistent this season, but Hulkenberg, just like I said on previous episodes, he's taking a gamble on that Audi.
Yeah, agree.
He's taking a gamble on that Audi.
I agree.
Remember, Hulkenberg never got a podium, let alone a race win. So I think he's taking a gamble on that Audi. That's what I believe.
Absolutely. Danny Rick in ninth. Far, much better for him.
It was much needed.
Yeah, and obviously he needs some luck. Danny Rick, I think, with how his season is going at the moment. So, ninth place, much better for him. Hamilton 8th, again, very underwhelming. Very underwhelming for his standards. But again,
him and Mercedes' standards.
Running through the motions at this point. I mean, we're going to repeat ourselves what to say with Lewis Hamilton. Yuki Tsunoda in 7th. We just said it right now. Continue growing with every single race this year. Yuki. Fantastic result for him in 7th place. George Russell in 6th, again, expected, no surprises, not too bad, not too great either. I mean, I think Russell wishes to be in that top. He really wishes to.
That's the reason why he joined Mercedes in the first place, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Leclerc and Sainz, the two Ferraris in 5th and 4th. Expect the top 3 finish, bro. At least with one of the Ferraris. Let's be clear here. Yeah. Honestly, I did expect a top 3 finish at least from one of them. Especially Leclerc. I did expect a top 3 finish in the quali. Disappointing.
It wasn't meant to be. The upgrades didn't work as expected, but it is what it is.
You can't predict that the upgrades were gonna work, still.
Tell me again.
You kind of predicted that the upgrades weren't going to work.
Yeah, because I know.
It's the same old story, eh?
Because I know, bro. I know. Unless we get someone like an Adrian Newey, little to know. Maybe, but look, I'm gonna be real now. I kind of expected the upgrades we're going too great. It depends also on the track. It also depends on the track as well. For example, I believe next race, Monaco, I think it would benefit more.
It could be.
Because of the low speed corners.
It could be, but anyhow, we're going to talk about, we're going to mention Ferrari in the race, but anyhow. The two McLarens in 3rd and 2nd with Norris and Piastri. Now for Oscar Piastri, unfortunately, that 3-place grid penalty dropped him down to 5th place. It's bullshit.
Yeah, but that McLaren is looking racy.
Listen, Miami was no fluke. I mean, right now.
That McLaren boy. McLaren
quick. That car is
cooking.
Mega quick. And I'm gonna get more into McLaren in the race as well. And how ironic that Max Verstappen got pole in a weekend where that Red Bull was struggling all weekend, and Max just goes there. He just goes out there and does. And
listen, but not by much. He didn't get pole by much. By less than a tenth.
Yeah, not by much, but
less than a tenth.
Listen, that Red Bull, it might be getting first and seconds galore at the moment, and it's at the top of the standings. But right now, they're not winning races by dominant. They're not in that top. But what's the word for it? They're not winning sections or winning qualifying.
They're winning races by 12 or so seconds.
By a landslide, basically.
Large margins.
By large margins, yeah, exactly. But really, listen, with McLaren, I'm super happy with a second and 3rd.
You should be. That McLaren is racing.
Piastri was a bit unlucky that he got that grid penalty, but yeah, we are right up there, bro. Right up there with you guys, racy. And right up, and I might be crazy by saying this, but
you're on par with Ferrari.
We could be on par with Red Bull as well with how we are driving the moment, but so
debatable,
yeah. But anyways,
debatable.
We now get to the race, bro, and really, bro, there really isn't much to talk about with the race because
nothing.
We get to the start. Now, obviously, Alonso, as we mentioned, started in the pit lane. I'm the only driver to start in the pit lane. But the start, same procedure. Obviously, the same thing that happened. Same procedures that has been happening throughout this entire season, with the exception of Australia, I believe. Clean start. No accidents, Verstappen getting the better out of everyone, and that was pretty much for 75% of the entire race.
It was early in the race where there was a good battle brewing between Sainz and Piastri.
Which that was like going to be the focus of the race, actually.
Yeah, that was the focus of the race actually. And then
It just
nothing happened after the pit stops. Nothing much happened. Perez was a sitting duck at one point with a McLaren and a Ferrari. I forgot the drivers, but no, it was a Ferrari and a McLaren.
yeah.
Perez was a sitting duck to both of
But
them.
even those, but sorry to interrupt you there, but even with those, with the McLaren and Ferrari duos, it just fizzled out. It just fizzled
Yeah.
out completely.
There was a point where Leclerc was right behind
Yeah.
Norris for a second, and Leclerc fucked it up at the Variante Alta
yeah.
as he went straight into the grass. I don't know what the fuck happened there. I was looking at my TV screen and I'm like, what the fuck? I was just confused. I was so confused.
It was
It didn't want to
yeah.
turn. He forgot there was a corner. I don't know, bro.
It was a very strange race, bro. I mean, again, it was so uneventful.
What the fuck?
It was so uneventful. The real highlights happened in the first couple of laps. Alonso had to do an early pit stop. His brakes ended
Yeah,
up
well,
being
on fire at one point as he was exiting the pits.
exiting the pits. And for Alonso, his weekend just went from bad to worse. Basically, couldn't get anywhere up the field. Couldn't drive anywhere. He had to retire the car just before the end of the race. And a horrible weekend for him, bro. I mean, literally in every single section, in every single part of the Grand Prix, whether it's practice, qualifying, and
Torrid
even the
weekend
race
all
as well.
around, man.
Torrid weekend for him. The race, unfortunately, was very uneventful, man. It was literally
apart from the beginning and the last bit at the end.
Apart from the last couple of laps, because Lando was gaining on Verstappen's ass lap after lap, literally. Obviously,
yeah,
Verstappen,
that was giving Alonso Schumacher vibes back in 05, man.
Exactly. Obviously, Verstappen had a couple
Not
of
as intense,
backlappers.
but that's the vibes it was about to give us.
Yeah. Verstappen had a couple of backlappers to deal with. His tires were starting to wear out. And even that Red Bull in general, it was not nowhere near as dominant as
it wasn't the smooth sailing
as previous weekends were, because Lando was gaining on him, man. I mean, the strategies again, we got the strategy spot on, but that McLaren, man. We have a good car this year. I mean,
no. That McLaren is racy.
And we learned from our mistakes of last season that we started right on the front foot. Basically, we may have not gone straight into the top 3 in the podium places, but we are giving not just you guys, but also Red Bull.
Y'all giving both Ferrari and Red Bull a run for their money.
A run for their money, man, basically, because the upgrades are paying off, massively paying off, man.
It all started from last season in Silverstone.
Yeah.
That's where it all started for you. It all started going upwards from there.
Yeah, and Lando was
And listen, deservedly so. I'm super happy for McLaren, man.
Absolutely.
I'm super happy.
I'm over the moon, man. And basically, for me, for large parts of the race, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I nearly dozed off in some sections of the race because it was
I want to take a shower mid-race. I want to take a shower mid-race.
Should have done that next time, because nothing happened pretty
I
much.
want to take a shower mid-race.
But all of a sudden, the race just sprung into life, basically, man, because Lando, lap after lap, was gaining on Max. And unfortunately, Lando made a couple of small mistakes. And
tiny errors.
Some slight errors in the chicanes. And if it was maybe 1 or 2, 3 more laps,
yeah, he would have got him.
He would have got Max.
He was about to get him on the start finish straight.
Yeah, because on the final
on the
lap,
last lap, he was about to get him.
0.9, 0.7 seconds just behind of him, but it was too little, too late, unfortunately, for Lando. Max managed to hold on to
only
the race,
just. He won that race
but
only just, Max.
Listen, Max can count himself a little bit lucky. Yes, he won the race, fair enough. He dominated most 85% of the race, 90% of the race, let's say. But if this was 2 more laps, 3 more laps in, Lando would have won the race, man. Miami was no fluke, man. Miami was no fluke. We are right up there. We are right up there with Red Bull. And with how this weekend went overall, I mean, you were all hyping out about your upgrades, but we had the better weekend than
absolutely,
you guys did. Absolutely, man.
I knew the upgrades weren't gonna come in that much into
And
play.
listen, if
I know.
if Piastri didn't get that penalty, he would have been in the podium place instead of Leclerc.
Yeah.
And Leclerc was visibly dejected, and rightfully so, man. He looked really, really upset.
And actually, Leclerc said a very interesting comment after the race. He said that it's looking good for Ferrari for the remainder of the season.
I think sarcastically said it.
I don't know, bro, but he said it post race. I have no idea. If he sees something that I don't, or we the fans don't, I don't know. I don't know how.
Maybe they'll turn up in maybe in some future races, maybe, but
maybe Monaco because of the low speed corners.
Listen, let's talk a bit about let's talk a bit quickly about Ferrari here. I mean, they were hyping about the upgrades, but they fell short, man. They fell short. Very short. I mean, I expected that Ferrari to be challenging us and even Verstappen to be maybe winning the race. I mean, in front of a home crowd, not technically a home crowd because San Marino is pretty much neighbors with Italy, but there was a large section of Tifosi and Ferrari fans, man. So they expected maybe to challenge a bit more, but that was not the case at all, man.
Nah, absolutely not, bro. I don't know what else to say, really.
Disappointing.
It was disappointing, yeah. Very, very disappointing. Very disappointed. I'm expected, but disappointed. Still.
Yeah. But for McLaren, fantastic weekend, man. And if Piastri didn't get that penalty, he would have easily got into those podium places. Maybe a third place finish at best. But listen, second and fourth is more valuable points in the back for Lando Norris, another podium. And listen, it might be 2 races. Listen, Lando has got himself another podium, but do you think he could maybe get into that title race with Max? For me, I don't think so, but
I think he could.
He's consistent. He is being consistent.
I think, listen. Do I believe that someone else rather than Max is going to win the title this season? No. But I believe that both Lando and Charles Leclerc can not take it all the way to the last race, but there or thereabouts, maybe in the last 2-3 races.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a landslide. It won't be another landslide for Max Verstappen, certainly.
No, and listen, I want Oscar to win a race, but I expect Lando to get at least 2-3 more wins this year, because Miami isn't his last win. There absolutely no chance. There's no way, because he's in the form of his life at the moment, Lando.
Yeah.
And we're very, very lucky to have him in the team. We're also lucky to have Oscar in the team. I mean, we have 2 very young drivers with massive potential, and I'm so happy with how my team is, how this team is progressing this year as well. Shout out to Andrea Stella and Zach Brown. And even on the same weekend that Ayrton Senna, that one of probably our greatest driver to ever drive for our team. That is a great, an excellent manner to honor Senna, to get valuable points in the team. And long may it continue. I'm expecting the same this week in Monaco and in future races, but we'll see. Fantastic results. Right up there in the mix. We have a quality car this year. A quality car. Yeah, Lando second, Leclerc getting a podium at least, bro. With
we got a podium. We got a podium at least.
Expecting better.
At least a fun fact. First Ferrari podium in Imola since 2006 with Michael Schumacher.
At least, a silver lining at least. You're silver lining.
At least it's a bit of a fun fact.
Yeah. Piastri fourth, as we mentioned before. Carlos Sainz in fifth. At least both me and you were in the top 5, bro. Pretty pleased with right where we are at the moment. But
I'm still happy we got third and fifth, though. I'm still happy we got third and fifth.
Expect a bit more for Ferrari.
Yeah, but them upgrades, bro, they better start kicking in a notch.
Yeah.
I'm expecting more for the upgrades to work in Monaco rather than Imola.
Yeah, definitely. The 2 Mercedes in 6th and 7th. Listen, Mercedes for this week are off the hook.
Weren't too bad, bro. They weren't too bad.
I think,
but not too great neither.
Not too bad, not too great. But we expected them, pretty expected to be in those standings at the moment. But they're off the hook this week, and because we have obviously we have different selections for our losers of the day. But Just obviously they have to improve Mercedes, but off the hook for this week. I think 6 and 7 is not too bad, but but it's not the worst result for them. Perez in 8. Listen, he may have got some points in the bag, but he had a poor weekend, bro. I mean,
yeah, pretty poor.
Weekend for him.
Started in 11, dragged those hard tires that he started with way too long, and then to switch onto the mediums, it was too little, too late.
And the audacity to, in one of his interviews at post race, that he said that Imola is not suited for Formula 1.
That's
what the fuck
crazy.
is he talking about, bro?
That's crazy, bro.
He's
just
salty.
because he's so too salty. Just because he's the king of the streets, apparently. That's what they call him.
You have to admit that he had a poor race, and he's just literally. He's being like he's acting like Klopp, basically. Like
he's acting like Helmut. He's acting like bro. He's acting like Helmut Marko.
Yeah, absolutely.
The dickhead, bro.
Man,
Come on, Perez. Look, he should go drink some tequila, eat some nachos, and chill the fuck out. That's what he should do.
Expect far better behavior from
Perez, bro. Come on,
absolutely.
Man. Just for that, you're getting an honorable mention. For Dick of the Day.
Yeah. I'm gonna get my
actually, no. Dick of the Day. Nah, he gets Dick of the Day.
I think he's even my pick as well.
He's Dick of the Day for that comment, bro. That's bullshit.
He's my pick as well, man. He's my pick. What the fuck is he on? What the fuck is he on about, man? Just admit that you had a poor race and move along and just move on from the race, man. Seriously. But anyhow, and the final two places were held by Lance Stroll from 13th to 9th. Decent for him.
Actually got 2 points in the back.
And Yuki Tsunoda getting that 1 point backclapped, obviously, by Verstappen in the end. A 10th place finish, 1 point, another point in the bag for Yuki. The two Hasses outside the points with 11 and 12th.
Unfortunate for them.
Unfortunate for them. We mentioned Danny Rigg, a bit of a silver line, getting to 9th, 13th. No points again for him. It's a shame. The Alpines had a poor race in general, let's be real here. Ocon in 14th, Zhou Guanyu in 15th with that Sauber. Gasly in 16th, Williams again, another miserable weekend for them. With Logan Sargent 17th. Albon was the only DNF.
Because of that horrible pit stop. With the loose wheel. I don't know which wheel was it. Was it front right, front left?
The front right.
The front right,
I
believe. It was the front?
The front right, I believe.
Yeah.
The front right, I believe. Bottas in 18th. Alonso obviously retired, but he was classified as 19th because he just retired just one lap before the race ended. A couple of laps before the race ended. And Alex Albon was our only DNF, finishing in dead last. I think
Lando Norris.
I think we both agree yet again.
Lando Norris.
For me, this is the third race in a row where Lando Norris is my driver of the day, and he is going to be my driver of the day again. The lad.
Yeah, he's my driver of the day too, man.
The lad from Glastonbury, bro, he is just continuing to impress week after week. He's such a talent, man. And and Miami, like I said before, Miami was no one-off. He's continuing where he left off, basically, with what his last race win. We're hoping for more of the same with Monaco. I mean, he was also voted driver of the day.
Listen, if it means anything to have a closer championship apart from another Red Bull driver, I'm all for it, bro.
So be it, man.
I don't care if it's us. I don't care if it's McLaren. I don't care if it's Mercedes. Whoever it is, if it's closer to Red Bull,
absolutely,
I'm all for it, man.
I'm all for it. And listen, I felt a bit sorry for him because if it was, again, if this was 2-3 more laps, he would have won.
Yeah, he would have got him.
He would have won.
He would have got him on that same straight.
It's a shame. It's a shame that those mistakes costed him. Those small errors really costed him, man. And it's a shame, really. Loser of the day.
I'm gonna be a bit harsh. I'm gonna give it to Alonso, man. I'm gonna be a bit harsh. I know it's harsh, but I'm gonna give it to Alonso. Torrid weekend.
Can't be. I mean, for me, he's my pick. He's going to be my pick as well. You could listen. Perez.
I love Alonso. I love Alonso
as well.
Yeah, but Perez gets the dick of the day.
Ferrari have to be in that list as well.
Should they be? I mean that's way too harsh.
I think disappointing. They were disappointing though.
Yeah, they were. But loser of the day, no.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, yeah, because I'm gonna have to agree with you, yeah, bro, with Alonso. But he had
I'm very sorry. I love Alonso, man, but
torrid
he
weekend.
had a horrible weekend, man.
Because literally he was just horrible in every section, in
FP1, FP2, FP3, quali, and the race.
Uncharacteristic errors from him.
Absolutely.
Obviously his race, how his race went, very unfortunate. But yeah, he's my loser of the day as well, man.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
Sorry, Fernando. We love you, but
sorry, man. Yeah, obviously we
you're gonna have to.
We will always love Fernando, but
we always love him. We love him, but
shocker weekend. Man.
Yeah, you bend it this weekend, bro.
Yeah,
you bend it.
Dick of the day, Perez.
Fuck him, man. Wow, the audacity, man, to
even shamelessly, by the way, as well. The lad is shameless.
Nah, man, he needs to go eat some nachos, drink some tequila, call it a day. That's what he should do.
Jalapenos at this point.
Jalapenos. What is tacos?
Yeah, every Mexican food that exists.
Burritos.
Basically.
All that, man.
Every Mexican food that exists, basically.
Enchiladas, whatever the hell they're called.
My clown of the day, I'm gonna go with Hamilton in the second round of qualifying, because he was like the first to come out, and then in his team radio he said, "Where is everyone, bro? You're like the only car on the grid. Like, give everyone a chance, and then they'll go.
He said that?
Yeah,
I missed that. I must have missed that.
He just said, "Where is everyone?"
Hiding.
Listen, man. If it's not his antics, his drama queen antics, he comes up with something with something else, man.
They're playing hide and seek.
I mean, pre-race.
I don't know. I missed it. I missed it for sure.
But just to jump very quickly. Did you see his outfit in the Met Gala, Hamilton?
Yo, which one? Where we had like the see-through
with the all black, basically. Look,
the all black, and he said he posted "Ciao."
Listen, Mandem's got
style. No, he got outfit, bro. His outfit game crazy.
Style,
It's out. He posted a picture on Instagram, I believe, and it said "Ciao," which is hello in Italian.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, Listen, his outfit game is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
He could easily be a designer.
Yeah, he could be. Once he retires from Horner, once he retires. But anyway, yeah, bro, I think we're very, very much aligned for our picks. Driver of the day is Lando Norris. Loser of the day is Alonso. Dick of the day is Perez. And our clown is Hamilton. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much how the Imola Grand Prix unfolded. We look at the standings. Not much has changed, guys. Verstappen stays on top with 161 points. Leclerc in second with 113.
Gets into second,
leapfrogging Checo. Checo now drops to third with 107 points. Lando Norris stays in fourth with 101 points. Carlos Sainz in fifth.
Much closer.
With 93. Lando is gaining on. Speaking of Lando Norris, Lando is gaining on Checo and even Leclerc. I think he will get in those spaces very soon, bro.
I reckon next race. I'll think next race.
Depends on how the others will be performing as well, bro.
Yeah.
Daniel Ricciardo in 14 with 5 points. Ocon and Magnussen with just a point. Albon, Zhou Guanyu, Pierre Gasly, Bottas, and Logan Sargent still without a single point so far in the season. Constructors, Red Bull remain on top with 268 points. Ferrari in second with 212 points. McLaren 154 points. And listen, the margins may be large at the moment, bro, but we're slowly gaining up on We're gaining. Mercedes with 79 points in fourth. Aston Martin dropping a bit off the pace this weekend with 44 points. Racing Bulls 20th in sixth. Haas in seventh with 7 points. Alpine with just a single point. Williams and Sauber without a single point in 9th and 10th. Alright, guys. That is it. That is the end of our 10th episode of the Pit Stop Lounge.
Thank you very much, guys, man. Much appreciated, always.
Yeah, we super appreciate it, guys, for listening.
Much love.
Having the time to listen to us. You don't have to wait too long, guys, because our next episode is just in a week's time, and we're heading to fabulous, grandiose Monaco.
Luxurious, marvelous,
irreplaceable in the Formula 1 calendar. One of my favorite tracks, regardless of the limited overtaking that takes place in those 78 laps. But super excited for Monaco. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a memorable occasion, as how it happens every
always.
season.
Hoping for a good showing from Charles Leclerc and doesn't get unlucky
And
for
more
once.
competitive
I hope.
and more competitiveness with us, with you, and with Red Bull as well.
I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. Praying for a Leclerc win.
I'm
praying.
It's the hope that kills you, bro. That's
Yeah, it's the hope, but I'm praying. I want to see Leclerc win this year, man. I really
who
want
knows?
to see.
Who knows, man? Who
But
knows?
to get a first win of the season in his home country,
It would be
man, I would love it.
It would be marvelous.
Praying, marvelous.
It would be marvelous.
Hoping.
All right,
hoping.
guys. That's it. Hope you have a great week, and as always, we see you in a week's time.
Thank you very much, guys.
Oh,
Good night.
shit.
Take care.
Drop my mic there. Peace.
One love. Thank you.